morning. I'm Stuart Moore, Western News anchor and your master of ceremonies for this year's Legal Aid Society of the Orange County Bar Association's Breakfast of Champions fundraiser. Today is my third year as your BOC MC. I'm excited to share stories about why legal aid is a respected and integral part of our community. If this is your first year attending BOC, welcome. If you are already a member of the Legal Aid Society family and have experienced the solidarity that is BOC, welcome back. Like Legal Aid Society, this year's BOC is community-based, relevant, and inspiring. So please sit back and welcome shareholder, head of Mateer and Harvard's eminent domain and property rights practice group, and the president of the Legal Aid Society of the Orange County Bar Association, Jay Small.
Thank you, Stuart. I'm honored to serve as the 61st president of the Legal Aid Society and to welcome our guests to the 15th annual Breakfast of Champions. Legal Aid's history is filled with Orange County Bar Association members who consistently support legal aid, the OCBA's official charity. Unique in our nation, legal aid remains the strongest legal charity in the state because all OCBA members unite to strengthen our community through service. We maintain the highest dignity of our practice and keep Orange County amongst the most desirable destinations in the world. While laws have changed in the 61 years since legal aid was established, its work remains the same. Our clients, both children and adults, still experience life-altering gains from your support. Everything you do to support legal aid helps establish economic stability and physical safety for generations to come. I donate my time and money to legal aid because I see our community is better for it. Please join us as we celebrate 61 years of service of the best work our profession has to offer at the 15th annual Breakfast of Champions. Back to you, Stuart.
Thank you, Jay. The essential civil legal services the Legal Aid Society provides are widely effective because legal aid is always present in the Orange County community. Legal aid staff and volunteers attend at least one community outreach event each week, spanning every zip code and neighborhood in our great county. In addition to direct legal services and attendance at community events, our residents benefit from LAS community education. And also, please join me in welcoming the leader of our incredible county, Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings.
Greetings. I'm Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings. It is my honor to welcome you to the 15th annual Breakfast of Champions. For 6 decades, the Legal Aid Society of the Orange County Bar Association, Incorporated, has assisted some of Orange County's most vulnerable populations, ensuring everyone has access to the legal system. Within the last 2 years, the Legal Aid Society has strengthened its partnership with Orange County government to educate residents on services available to help with their legal issues and empower them to seek assistance when necessary. When the COVID-19 pandemic plagued our community, the Legal Aid Society sprung into action and helped facilitate programs such as foreclosure mediation, where landlords and tenants could seek resolutions to housing issues free of charge. Legal Aid Society attorneys also played a vital role in Orange County's eviction diversion program, offering legal advice, counsel, and representation to residents facing eviction. This partnership resulted in thousands of Orange County residents staying in their homes. We applaud the Legal Aid Society for their work in the community by participating in back-to-school drives and offering legal support at Know Your Rights community forums. These events increase our community's meaningful engagement with the judicial process, enabling access to justice for all, regardless of income. Most recently, Legal Aid partnered with Orange County government on a television show covering topics such as housing, consumer debt, domestic violence, and other issues affecting Orange County's residents. We are grateful for the incredible work that the Legal Aid Society of the Orange County Bar Association does on behalf of our residents. Thank you, and have a wonderful event.
Good morning. I'm Jamie Grosshans, a Justice of the Florida Supreme Court, and I'm honored to join you all at the 15th annual Breakfast of Champions, hosted by the Legal Aid Society of the Orange County Bar Association in Orlando, Florida. This is an organization that I've had the opportunity to work personally with in the past, and it truly showed me the impact that an attorney can have in their local community. Legal aid organizations stand on the front lines, helping ensure that all citizens have equal access to justice, even when they are unable to afford an attorney. Legal aid organizations act as advocates for families, children, veterans, and the elderly to help them navigate the civil justice system. I'm so grateful for the Legal Aid Society and excited to hear about all of their triumphs of this past year.
We at the Legal Aid Society serve the indigent community. The only difference is we serve now the formerly middle class, the people who were formerly of means, along with the individuals who were born into poverty. The spectrum is so broad for us now. Our numbers are voluminous. Social problems have sprung up that we never thought would be here. And it's not as though one problem goes away and another one arrives. They're the same problems that were always there. Divorce is still an issue. Domestic violence is still an issue. But new forms of predatory lending are out there. Foreclosures and evictions like you would not believe are now present. And all of those tiny issues in between, they're all there. So with our numbers being larger, the community that we serve is larger. So we see everyone. We see every single person. You can basically walk down the street and know that 1 in 4 people you pass can receive the services of the Legal Aid Society.
Well, I was working part-time after I lost my regular job, so I was working part-time, and then COVID hit, and I was unable to work anymore whatsoever, and everybody was pretty much confined, which made me fall behind on my payments for the homeowner association. There was an intent to foreclose. First, it was a payback, a payment arrangement, which was like maybe $800 to $900 a month. I couldn't afford that. And then, I'm being scared. I didn't know what to do or where to go, so I pretty much just kept the notice and said, well, maybe it'll go away. But then I got an intent to foreclose notice, and I'm like, okay, it's serious.
We're seeing a lot of association foreclosures, and folks don't know who to go to, who to turn to. So we've seen a great uptick with regard to that. And obviously it's getting our message out to the community that we're here to help. And oftentimes we are able to save a person's home when we can explain to them that a payment plan is the appropriate way to do things. And then we try to get their finances in order to make them successful with the payment plan. So in Maria's case, it worked out great. She was able to save her home.
I thank you. I couldn't thank them enough. I was bringing tears, but I couldn't thank them enough because I was so close to losing my home. And to lose your home over a mortgage is one thing, but homeowner association, who would think that the homeowner association has that much power to take your home?
With our domestic violence survivors, they have to, go to court. They have to be in front of people, and it can sometimes be re-traumatizing for them. And so just understanding that she may have had a fear of even, participating in this is understandable. We see it often. We have to talk our clients through just trying to be comfortable to tell their story. And so with this particular case, she had a domestic violence injunction case with us. She also had a divorce case with us, and she also had an immigration case with us. So she wasn't from this country. She came here under her husband's name. So we assisted her in doing an immigration and removal of conditions case. It's called an I-751 case for her. She also did a domestic violence injunction case where we assisted in getting her a 20-year injunction because her husband, when she had the temporary injunction, he violated it. He broke into their home, he held her at gunpoint, and so he ended up facing criminal charges behind that. And so later on, of course, now he's sentenced to 10 years in prison, and we assisted her in getting a divorce.
So my youngest brother, Shawnell, was born disabled. He's cerebral palsy, born blind. Mom was there by herself with my brother, and then I got the call, she's having some dementia issues, some memory issues. And from there, it progressed. And then in, I think it was like 2018, I got a call from a neighbor that she's wandering, and she had my brother with her. So from there, I just had to drop everything and leave North Carolina, my daughter, my granddaughter.
So we were able to set up 2 separate guardianships to where she had control over essentially her mother and then her brother. She moved in with them to take care of them full time, and then she had the ability to make medical decisions, deal with their finances, and kind of get all of those appointments in line that are necessary to take care of them, make sure that they're treated the way they need to be treated.
She was granted asylum due to the horrific events that took place in Jamaica. She was almost murdered. She had a knife put to her throat. I'm surprised she survived. But that was just the beginning, because once you get asylum, you still have to apply for your residence. So I was able to help her. After she had the asylum, I was able to help her apply for her resident status. Sometimes it keeps you up at night. Certain cases do, because it's about their life. I mean, in her case specifically, it was her life. Like, she could be killed if she returned, and she really didn't have any support, not even from her family. Even her own family was against her. So it's not like she had anyone really to turn to. She was homeless for most of her 20s because no one wanted her. That her family didn't understand her. So she really didn't have anyone but me. So that was hard, to know that her life was basically in my hands.
It is life-changing.
Mm-hmm.
It is life-changing.
Long story short, I've been involved in this case for years. We had some trials, basically where the parents lost their rights to the children. Basically, they were not role models. They didn't know how to parent in any way at all, and in fact neglected and abused both the kids.
The 2 children were in one foster home. There were concerns that the 2 children should not be placed together because there were concerning behaviors and mental health behaviors that were conveyed by the foster mother. And so the siblings were at risk of being separated, even though they are very closely bonded. And I think that's where Andy, the guardian ad litem, really comes into play, because he knew exactly what those kids needed, because he had such a personal relationship with those 2 children and had invested so much time in them. He was able to advocate for what they truly needed, and that was to be together and to be adopted together. And he really worked hard to achieve that and fought some battles in between there to make sure that happened.
It was a challenge, to say the least, because the kids were where they were at and had some pretty significant circumstances that didn't allow them to be there anymore. And they came with some trauma. So it was not only an instant family, but an instant family of parenting children with trauma and behavioral challenges.
It's just an absolute miracle. It's nothing short of a miracle that these children are thriving against all odds. And it's just a credit to them, to the parents.
Well, going from being told, I don't like you, I don't want to be here, I don't trust you, to can you help me fix my clothes, or can you make me something to eat, can you lay with me, can I lay with you, can you read with me? Those are all pretty classic signs, yeah.
The work we do with the Legal Aid Society and the community that supports it, we know we're taking on the world's biggest challenges. We're taking on life's biggest issues, the most frightening, the most difficult, the scariest. And we're using our education, our passion, and our profession to say there's something that we can do about this, and we're going to do everything we can to make this world, this moment, this life, this community better. And the people who dedicate themselves to doing this are extraordinary. There's no other way about it. They know they're taking on something that is difficult. They know they are pushing a boulder up a hill. The difference is that boulder reaches the top and it goes down the other side. And for the people they serve, for the amazing clients who are with us in this fight, in this struggle, the world gets better.
Bet you did not expect to see me here. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Nick Shanine, OCBA member, past president, apparently a Swiftie, and most importantly, proud long-term Legal Aid Society supporter. Legal Aid is a law firm serving the indigent dedicated to permanently improve lives. 15 years ago, a small group, including Glenn Adams, Billy Mansky, Jack Lord, Heather Pinder Rodriguez, Jamie Moses, and other OCBA bar leaders, created what has become Legal Aid's signature fundraiser, the Breakfast of Champions. What started with a handful of sponsors has now become a powerful force for good in Orange County, giving rise to community safety, economic stability, and promising futures for vulnerable children. On behalf of all Legal Aid staff, we would like to thank all of our sponsors for enabling this transformative work to take place year after year. Our Breakfast of Champions sponsors play a huge role in the success of the Legal Aid Society. Let's start off by recognizing our new champion sponsor, donating $15,000 to the Legal Aid Society, Jedediah Main. Jed and his Main law firm serve Central Florida as an injury law firm committed to helping individuals by maximizing the compensation received if injured in a car, motorcycle, semi-truck, workplace accident, or other incident resulting from someone's negligence. With offices in Winter Park, Mount Dora, Lake Mary, Apopka, Claremont, we applaud Jed and the Main law firm for their continuous contributions. Thank you to the Main law firm for your $15,000 sponsorship. Not to be outdone, Paul Knopf and Bigger returns as a $15,000 champion sponsor. PKB represents individuals across the country who are seriously injured by medical malpractice, defective products, drugs, and medical devices, or the negligence of others. With offices in Orlando, Tampa, and St. Petersburg, Paul Knopf Bigger's team is committed to fight worthwhile causes where they see injustice and can make a difference, knowing that we are better together than we could ever be individually. Thank you to Paul Knopf Bigger for renewing your $15,000 sponsorship. Next, our $10,000 platinum sponsor, the Joe and Sarah Galloway Foundation. They have supported the BOC since its early days and is a 3-year, $10,000 annual platinum sponsor. The Joe and Sarah Galloway Foundation is a legacy to their namesakes, Joe and Sarah Galloway. The trustees of the foundation are honored to carry on the Galloway's public service commitments by making grants to qualified public charities in Central Florida. The Legal Aid Society acknowledges the Joe and Sarah Galloway Foundation and is honored to be their beneficiary. In a category all their own, we send a big thank you to Mateer & Harbert, a civil and criminal law firm in Orlando, which donated $7,500 to address critical community needs. Mateer & Harbert law firm members also remain committed to board service through the Legal Aid Society. We have many gold-level $5,000 sponsors, including an anonymous donor, Carlton Fields, the City of Orlando Police Department, Dan Newland, Personal Injury Lawyers, Florida Lawyers Mutual Insurance Company, Sharma Eminent Domain Lawyers, and Sheriff John Mina and the Orange County Sheriff's Office. We appreciate each and every one of those fantastic gold sponsors. Then we have a bunch of silver sponsors donating at least $2,750 or more. Those include the law firms of UC Sanks, Calhoun Dregers and Associates, Cole Scott Kissane, Fisher Rushmer, Holland Knights Charitable Foundation, judges John Kest and Sally Milward Kest, the law firm of King, Blackwell, Zender, and Vermouth, Lee Lombardy, Lowndes Law, the Total Health Guidance, Universal, and Zimmerman, Kaiser, and Sutcliffe. But wait, there's more. We have a bunch of bronze level sponsors at $1,000 or more. Those include another anonymous donor, Glenn Adams and Stacy Young Adams, Any Lab Test Now through its owner, Tom Sheldon, Ayanna Barrow and Geico, Jeffrey S. Brom, Capella Immigration Law and its member Camilla Pachon Silva, Climate First Bank, also Curtis Protective Services and its member John Campbell, Embrace Families, the FAMU Foundation, Tom Fighter of Fighter Law, Suzanne Gilbert, Jerry Glynn and Angela Halliday, Gray Robinson, Seth Hyman, Raymer Francis McGuire, doing business as the McGuire Eminent Domain, Jamie Bellotti Moses, Tiffany Moore Russell, your Orange County Clerk of Court, Quinteros Prieto Wood and Boyer and its member Deborah Moskowitz, Raphael and Sarah Rodriguez, along with the Hartford, Emery H. Rosenbluth, some law firm named the Shannon Law Firm with partners Nick and Carol Shannon. Oh, wait, that's Nick and Carol Shanine. I know those guys. They're all right. South State Bank and its partner Jeffrey Brommel, the Stewart Title Guarantee Company, Jennifer and Robert Swift, thank you, Tangel Rodriguez and Associates, and that's Tangle, and the Family Law section of the Florida Bar, who's a double plus sponsor by dropping in $2,500 for us. Continuing on, we have the Orlando Law Group and its member Jennifer Englert. We have Legal Aid Society long-term warrior Joanne Tucker Hall. We have the Umansky Law Firm. We have the Honorable Charlie and Linda Wells and the Ziegler Law Group. Legal Aid also sends special thanks to our friends at Truist Bank. Earlier this year, Truist Bank donated $25,000 to help foster financial freedom for older foster youth exiting foster care. This critical work would not be possible without Truist Bank. Thank you. And for all of these sponsors, I add to our thanks this Shanine haiku. Generosity for children and those in need, your help means the world. Thank you. All right, with the sponsor thank yous done, I'd like to reminisce a little bit. Just a couple years ago, the world was presented with new health challenges, and many of us were left searching for good news. Thankfully, along came the amazing Baxter, assisted by his loyal co-host, Eric Reed, who shared some good news with us all. Baxter and the SGN series inserted much-needed humor and kind sentiments about Orange County Bar Association lawyers helping our friends in need. This year, having just dealt with our least favorite couple of blowhards, Ian and Nicole, we can all use a dose of Baxter and some good news. What do you say? Let's fire up the Baxter signal. Aroo! Baxter, are you there?
Hello, Stuart. Yes, I am here. Eric Reed with some good news with my trusty pal, Baxter. Hang on one sec, Stuart. An official OCBA cease and desist letter? Karen, what did I do wrong?
Wait, this is Nick Shanine interrupting this broadcast with another special announcement. Eric, I'm receiving breaking news that, what's this? Karen Persis, the current Orange County Bar Association president, had you served with a cease and desist note, which states that in her official capacity as an officer of the court and president of the OCBA, you, Eric Reed, were served with a cease and desist, where she points out that you continue to brandish the title of president of the Orange County Bar Association in the highly acclaimed Some Good News segment and anywhere else you can get away with it. This is the part where she was supposed to cite the bylaws, excoriate you for not complying with subparagraph 14B, and threaten you with excommunication from the bar. But because you always take pro bono cases and donate cash, we all want to be careful in handling this transfer of power delicately. I'll tell you, Karen rolled her eyes when I said she could not borrow and not return Baxter, that little star, even if it was for the purpose of a fundraiser. So let's just move past that stop or else part and allow me to thank you for all of your great SGN segments over the years. Although you may want to cease and desist on those flamingo shorts. Yikes. All right, with that, we'll kick it back to Karen for her official words. Madam President?
I'm an adoption and surrogacy attorney, as well as a proud pro bono volunteer for legal aid. I have handled sealing and expunction, divorce with minor children, guardian ad litem, name changes, and even landlord-tenant cases. As the Orange County Bar Association president, I am honored to share the legacy of these two outstanding organizations. The Orange County Bar Association's mission is to promote honor, dignity, truth, and professionalism within the legal community. Our members have always understood the extreme privilege of our profession, which makes attorneys natural partners with LAS in the war on poverty. We all know lawyers often have the unfortunate reputation of being cold, indifferent, and unsympathetic to the surrounding world. Some in our profession lose the ability to empathize with those who struggle. Thanks to our longtime partnership with LAS, this reputation is not the reality for OCBA members. One way to showcase our outstanding lawyers is to share some of their selfless deeds. The Mary Ann DiPetrillo New Attorney Award of Excellence was presented to Kaylin Martinelli, a member of the Becker Poliakoff firm. Kaylin has served 7 children as an LAS guardian ad litem attorney. She brings comfort and security to the children she serves, as evidenced by LAS staff sentiments about her. They report, her dedication and quest for GAL-related information is outstanding. She wants to ensure that she is always advocating for the best interests of the children at every juncture. Attorney Frank Blanco, who also received the New Attorney Award this year, is a sole practitioner who has handled 19 cases in various areas, including bankruptcy, dissolution of marriage, and dependency. He made the difference between homelessness and security, physical violence and safety, and forever families and homelessness for his clients. With less than 7 years as an attorney, it is a testament to his character that someone at the beginning of his career has made such an impact in the lives of so many. Attorney Raymond Costo of Costo and Rotella received the Russell Troutman Pro Bono Champion Award, recognizing his unparalleled pro bono representation, including assisting indigent clients in dissolution of marriage with domestic violence, landlord-tenant bankruptcy, and consumer cases. In one divorce with a 2014 dissolution of marriage, Raymond stood up to a litigious abuser who refused to pay child support. To this day, he continues that representation for his grateful client, ensuring her children live a life of security, not in hunger and homelessness. His fellow OCBA attorneys describe Raymond as an unsung hero, as he does not ask for recognition for the complicated cases that he handles. Guardian Ad Litem Award recipient attorney Lynn James Hinson changed 86 foster children's lives. From newborn to children aging out of foster care, Lynn has seen it all. His representation includes not only dependency court cases, but also complex appellate cases that not only improve lives for the children he represents, but children throughout the entire state. Lynn creates forever families every day, and he has no plans to stop. Paul Zenowitz, owner and managing partner of the PZ Law Firm, was a 2022 Guardian Ad Litem Award recipient. Through his numerous forms of service, including financial donations, case acceptance, testifying before the Florida Senate on the impact of legislation on vulnerable children, establishing youth scholarship programs, and holding fundraisers, Paul ensures that foster children have a voice in the overburdened dependency system. He is known to seek out the difficult cases others often decline, and he pursues every avenue zealously for his child clients. Paul is described as being able to handle the most challenging, difficult cases and will always find the silver lining.
The coveted Judge J.C. Jakestone Distinguished Service Award will be presented to Mary Doty Solik, a solo attorney specializing in zoning, land use, and real estate matters. Mary is one of the few conflict guardian ad litem attorneys, meaning she alone navigates dependency cases without any assistance from staff. Besides her impeccable work product and consistently high level of professionalism, Legal Aid Society staff are amazed that Mary approaches each new case with the same excitement and commitment every child deserves. To quote the Legal Aid Society, Mary is simply remarkable. The prestigious John R. Hamilton Law Firm Award of Merit will be presented to Zimmerman, Kaiser, and Sutcliffe, PA. ZKS began handling pro bono cases in 1984. The courtroom is just one arena in which ZKS makes a difference. One ZKS staffer collected thousands of dollars of baby items for Legal Aid Society clients. Another has dedicated years of service to the Legal Aid Society Board of Trustees, while others still arrange for unique experiential opportunities for their guardian ad litem children. Tim Schultz, ZKS partner and shareholder, stated that every firm decision is looked at with an eye toward how the decision benefits the community. Having served nearly 300 children since beginning their involvement with the Legal Aid Society, it is indisputable ZKS community impact spreads far and wide. And these are just some of the shining examples of what makes our local legal community uniquely champions.
As OCBA president, I am proud to represent a bar association that understands just how worthwhile using our professional talents to ensure the long-term survival of the vulnerable neighbors is. The pro bono service we provide as a collective through the OCBA makes us a national leader in both professionalism and philanthropy. I donate to legal aid because I believe in legal aid. LAS's work improves your professional and personal experience regardless of your practice area. Reducing crime, empowering children, and shielding vulnerable seniors and veterans from predatory schemes are the byproducts of supporting legal aid. That ultimately benefits us all. So I ask you to join me in donating today. Do you know how easy it is to donate? You can visit the LAS website and donate right now. You can click the link in the chat box and change someone's life immediately. You can drop off a check or cash at the LAS office. Whatever you decide, we ask you to donate now because your donation is needed now. Whatever your donation level is, know that legal aid is grateful for every penny of support. Thank you, and back to you, Stuart. Oh, and Stuart, we have a big game coming up. Go Gators.
Thank you, Karen, and welcome to the BOC team. Eric Reed, we will always think fondly of all the good news you brought to this event during a time that was greatly needed. Well, everyone, this 15th annual BOC has flown by. As always, I enjoyed sharing my morning with you, celebrating Legal Aid Society's clients, staff, and the loyal community that supports it. I close out my third year as MC filled with optimism about the future of our hometown. Collectively, we help Central Florida remain one of the most desirable residential, business, and tourist destinations in the world. As we quickly march toward the end of the year and begin preparations for the holiday season, we embrace our customs with our loved ones. We, this morning, recognize support of BOC as our beloved and proven tradition. So to continue my closing tradition, I say, go Noles. May you, your loved ones, and the Legal Aid Society have a prosperous and healthy new year. We look forward to seeing you next year at the 16th Annual Breakfast of Champions. And on behalf of the Legal Aid Society of the Orange County Bar Association, clients, staff, and Board of Trustees, I'm Stuart Moore, wishing you the very best. And thank you.